Welcome viewers at home and abroad to this live virtual Independence Day event. The Belize Embassy in Washington and its sister consulates would normally host Belizeans living in the US to celebrate our independence. But it's not quite safe to do so this year, so it's going to be done virtually. I am William Neal, your host for this afternoon, and I will be joined soon by a Belizean living in Chicago, Melissa Coleman. Let me talk you through what we're going to be doing today. We'll have the national anthem, a prayer, and then speeches by the Prime Minister and our ambassador to the United States. And that will be followed by tons of musical entertainment by some of Belize's best bands, as well as from Belizean DJs living in the US. Since this is an official event, particularly for those in the diaspora, let's begin with the national anthem, performed for us by two violinists, Courtney Gillett Diaz and Natasha Young. Please stand. Thank you, ladies. It's always soothing to hear our national anthem played beautifully on traditional classical instruments. That was a special performance for our special day. We now turn it over to Father Henry to lead us in a prayer. Thereafter, we'll hear directly from our Prime Minister for an Independence Day address.
Good afternoon, my fellow Belizeans in America and at home. Congratulations on our independence coming up. I just want to pray and continue to ask God to bless our nation and to bless our government wherever they are, and to pray for prosperity, for health and wellness, especially during this time of the pandemic. But if we practice social distancing, wear a mask, follow what the science says, we'll be all right. Because as the saying goes, we are all in this together. And so as we prepare to celebrate our 39th year of independence, let's pray. Merciful God, we come to you in thanking you for our nation, Belize. We know that our many blessings of freedom, liberty, prosperity, and other gifts too countless to list have come from your hand. Our nation and its many freedoms are a gift from you. On this day, we remember our nation's independence, our forefathers. We pause to honor you, to praise you, and to thank you. Heavenly Father, we pray that you would forgive our sins and lead us as a nation in the way we should go. Let us not take for granted the many gifts and blessings you have given us. May we always honor you. Be with us, Lord, as we strive to be a light and a beacon from you to the world. In Jesus' holy name we pray. Amen.
My fellow Belizeans, 2020, the year of the COVID-19 global pandemic, is a year that has tested our people more severely than any other since the birth of our nation in 1981. Former British Prime Minister Benjamin Disraeli once said, "There is no education like adversity." If that is true, Belizeans will all receive doctoral degrees by the end of 2020. In battling this unprecedented phenomenon, Belizeans are proving their resiliency. This is a fight that we have not yet won, but neither have we been defeated. Indeed, our determination is unyielding, and in the end, as this year's September celebration's theme makes clear, we will overcome. The pandemic is, of course, a great equalizer. The prosperous and the poor are vulnerable alike. Thus, in confronting this mother of all challenges, distinctions among us don't matter. We are all Belizeans and have come together at home and abroad, ultimately to slay this beast. Facilitated by technology, we are united the world over. We support each other via telephone, WhatsApp, Facebook, and Zoom. We conduct our relations. We keep continuously in touch. We grieve and celebrate together. We bridge physical distance with a connection that is perhaps all the more precious for being virtual. So although you cannot be here with us this September as in years past, still we celebrate as one. For this particularly special season of nationalism and patriotism, let bandwidth bring together families in Punta Gorda, Toronto, New York, and London, friends in Benqueviejo, Los Angeles, Kingston, and Taipei. And when we are able to travel safely again, we will hold and embrace each other all the more joyfully for the long months of separation. September 19th in Belize is annually acknowledged as National Service Day, but none before has been as meaningful as this one. I therefore take this opportunity on behalf of all of you to thank our frontline personnel, the healthcare and social workers, the police and the soldiers and the Coast Guard, the customs and immigration and all the essential service people in the public and the private sector. I salute them for their tireless efforts to keep us safe, and I likewise hail those Belizeans in the diaspora that are doing the same in their adopted countries. We prove to the world that generosity of spirit, social responsibility, and commitment to humanity are embedded in the Belizean national character. These are traits that we scatter across the globe. After COVID-19, Belize will continue boldly on the path of national development. We clearly expect that, as always, this will be with the encouragement, investment, and support of our always appreciated, always treasured diaspora. I end this message by saying a political farewell to all of you as I come to the end of my tenure as Prime Minister of our beloved Belize. I thank you for your commitment to this land of our birth, and I say that it has been my greatest honor to try to serve all the people of this nation. It is a nation that extends well beyond its physical borders. It is a nation that will always include you. Happy Independence Day, and may God continue to bless Belize.
Let bandwidth bring us together this year indeed. 2020 has been an unprecedented year in so many ways. One in which carnivals, concerts, and even churches have gone exclusively virtual. But like the Prime Minister said, our citizens deserve degrees in handling adversity because we have adapted and adopted new tools to carry on with our traditions and our daily lives. Like the PM, we also thank frontline workers who have been heroes during this most challenging year. And of course, we thank the Prime Minister for his 12th and final Independence Day address to the Diaspora as he nears retirement in the next few weeks. Happy Independence Day to you too, Prime Minister. Now, on our agenda for this afternoon is an address from Ambassador Daniel Guterres, our ambassador to the United States and the permanent representative to the OAS. Ambassador?
Members of the Diplomatic Corps, members of staff of the Embassy of Belize, members of the Belizean Consular Corps, my fellow Belizeans, I bring you warm greetings from Washington, D.C. on this 39th anniversary of our nation's independence. Oh, what a 39th birthday this is proving to be. A worldwide pandemic that has brought economies to their knees, the arrival of storms from across the Caribbean Sea. Ladies and gentlemen, the theme of this year's anniversary, overcoming adversity, creating opportunity, Belizeans unite for prosperity, is not a statement that invites us to wallow in our difficulties, but a statement that challenges that indomitable Belizean spirit to overcome. Perhaps a birth story is in order. The tale of a land behind the great reef of the Americas and the people who from all over this planet came. Those people came over many years and for many different reasons. One group of Belizeans and their ancestors have lived in Mesoamerica for time immemorial. Many, though, were brought against their will through the evil institution of trade in human beings. Many came because colonialism never looked unkindly on families being ripped apart for the repayment of debt through indentured labor. That same colonial pipeline brought many of our traders and merchants. Other forebears were forcefully removed from our ancestral homes in the Eastern Caribbean, only to be deported unceremoniously to the coasts of Central America. In the 19th century, many came because they had no choice, as their lives, their land, and their livelihoods were laid waste by war between the great-great-grandchildren of the conquered and the conqueror in the Yucatan. In the 20th century, and in their horse-drawn buggies, more came to fully exercise their religious freedoms and start a new life. Today, as we speak, people from North America, indeed people from all over the world, come to Belize to start a new life. The nation-state of Belize, from where you came, is not a land of people who were ever warm to the white flag of surrender. It is a land of people who had to overcome adversity, create opportunity, and work together to survive. Because we were small, because we were poor, because we were pretty much there on our own, we had to be a tough people. So whether on that fateful day at St. George's Quay, or facing the evil of slavery, whether picketing and protesting in the streets of the colony to demand autonomy from our colonial masters, or picking up the pieces after the horror of Haiti, Belizeans have faced adversity in the past, and we have emerged stronger and more united every single time. On this 39th anniversary of our nation's divorce from the shackles of colonialism, we face economic difficulties, an unseen and ruthless viral enemy, all compounded by the complexity of being a small and vulnerable country in the path of Mother Nature's cyclonic revenge. But let us never forget who we are. We are one nation, of different shades and flavors, but one nation. Let us never forget where we came from, and that those who before us settled the land called Belize climbed a mountain of adversity and built for themselves a home, built for their grandchildren a place to call home. They never gave up, neither shall we. That unassailable Belizean spirit, that knee-jerk reaction to see the best circumstance in people, that unstated rule where my neighbor, notwithstanding the color of his skin, or where she prays, or for whom she votes, is and shall always remain my Belizean brother and sister, is now being called into service. This September of 2020, yes, there is a pandemic upon us. We shall overcome, and we shall emerge even stronger. Perhaps the wisdom of our forefathers, which goes like this, should help. With smile, but with kakatari. I thank you.
Strong and inspirational words from Ambassador Guterres. Always a great and moving speaker. And we all agree, Ambassador, we do not wave any white flags here in Belize. Thank you for your address. Viewers, at this point of the show, we move into our entertainment. Before we bring up the first entertainer, allow me to welcome my co-host, as promised, for the remainder of this afternoon, Melissa Coleman, known to most Belizeans as Mel C. Welcome, Mel C.
Hi, William. Hi, Belizeans. How is everybody doing back home? It's so good to be able to join you guys and have a good time today.
Now, Mel, you've been living in the U.S. for a while. What has September been like, and how does it pale in comparison to what we normally do here in Belize?
Oh, I'm telling you, William, nothing compares to actually being back home where the heritage and the core of the celebration is. Here in the U.S. and in many different states, they would have events, dances, cultural days, but nothing compares to being at home.
The thing I know that Belizean Americans are very good at is marching. So have you been practicing your march?
Yes, I have. I've been keeping up with, thankfully, I've been keeping up with the different videos and watching it live on social media. So that's helped me feel like I'm there with everyone.
Now, of course, because of COVID, we have gone to virtual. So quite a number of the events for September have been virtual. Have you been able to see any of them, and what has been your favorite so far?
My favorite one, William, I would say was the 10th of September Bram, because you had all the artists coming together and you got to watch it on TV. So with the best part of it that I enjoyed is that even though it was a working day for me, I was still able to watch it live and also talk to my family while watching it. So that was like the best part of it. And being able to play in my house and, jump up with Unaso.
So how has your puntering been going?
Oh, I need some practice. I definitely need some practice, but I get there. Trust me, they had, especially back in March, they had times I had my own party up in this house. I play all the music. I dance in the mirror. I have a good time because, being away from family, it really messes with your mental health. So you have to find different things and different ways to, still feel out the spirit and enjoy your September celebration as a Belizean and the culture on a whole.
Now, Mel, I know you have been in carnivals in Belize. What's your favorite memory of a carnival in Belize?
Wow, there've been so many. My favorite one would be the first time I went in carnival. It was in Orange Walk Carnival because it was right around this time around Independence celebration. So the night before, I was with everyone partying, bringing in the night at the big concert, and then the next day I didn't listen, William. I never tell nobody I'm going in a carnival. So the reaction to everyone seeing me in the carnival, they were very surprised, but like a good surprise. And I just felt the love. People that passed me, they'd be able to take picture with me. I felt great. And you know, it's just a liberating feeling. I've been to I've been in 4 carnivals before I moved over here. And I've also been to the one in Trinidad. So, you know, it's just a great feeling. And it's one of the best memories for all Septembers.
Well, I've only covered the carnival. I've never been in a carnival. But
it's nothing
you know,
like being in it.
I know, definitely. But Mel, you know, as we start getting into our entertainment for today, this is a great opportunity for you to practice your punta skills. We're going to have, and I don't know if I'm going to be saying this correctly, but I'll give it my best shot.
Okay.
We're having the Iseri Isanigu Garifuna drummers as our first entertainment. So get up, work your ways out, and perfect your punta.
Okay.
And there you had it from the drummers, all the way from LA. So the culture is definitely strong. Mel, were you working up a sweat?
Oh, I was. And I really made it feel it, William. I had to catch my breath just now. But yes, I enjoyed it completely. I even got and changed my shirt and all because I'm going to feel the culture, you know?
I think when you're in Chicago, you have AC, so you don't sweat when you're punta.
Trust me, the heat is still on. I'm glad because, you know, going into winter, nothing nice here. Nobody miss home more than when the temperature drop, William. I'm telling you.
Now, Mel, you have on a very beautiful shirt. That's available in the US, or you got it from friends and family in Belize?
Yes, William, I got it right from here in Chicago. There's this Instagram page. It's called Culture Designs 365. The guy that has the Garfina merchandise, he's also from Belize, and you know he has his culture and he wanted to express his culture. So you know I support anything Belizean. So I got this Garfina drip T-shirt, and they have several other designs as well. So you can get different things. If you check out the site, it's pretty cool. So anything Belizean and cultural, I'll always support. So this is my cultural shirt from Culture Design 365.
Well, Mel, I want to be like any good old coffee. Please, when you sell the next box or barrel, I expect one of them T-shirt, all right? Just make your people link me and I'll pick it up.
Okay, I'll hook you up, William. I got you.
All right.
Box and barrel coming soon. You know, speaking about box and barrel, it's different when things flip your side, you know. First, I was on the receiving side. No, it's a lot different now. You have to carry on that tradition. Being in the States, you have family you are the family that stays the same thing. So things is a little different now.
Yeah, well, and it's much appreciated, especially in this time of COVID for many families.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Mel, let's keep it kind of, you know, with the entertainment. And I know, in addition to you, we have, you know, a lot of Belizeans who are living in the US, and many of them are very accomplished. At this time, we wish to recognize a few of them that have remained connected with our Belizean embassy in the US.
At last, the time has come. Belizeans unite for independence. Let it know our plan, one for all and all for one. Our thinking, our actions, they should all agree. We're a people with one common destiny. United we stand, divided we fall. Our achievements will benefit one and all. So pull together, help one another to rise up to the sky. Like an idea whose time has come, together let's move on. Appreciating the words of the late Abraham Lincoln, with charity towards all and malice towards none. Let's heal up the wounds of our nation. We must
Wow, a comprehensive list of Belizeans who are doing great things in the US. I saw quite a number of people that I know.
It's so nice to see so many accomplished Belizeans, like you said. I've also worked with Miss Martha Perdomo Taylor. I've worked with her here in Chicago on the Belize Day committee. So that's how I started coming here to Chicago, when I used to come and host their Belize Day here in Chicago.
Oh, nice. You know, very often because of the disconnect that we may feel living on this side, except when you send box and barrel, you know, we don't realize that a lot of Belizeans go over to the US and they make quite a mark. We're very proud of all the Belizeans who continue to live their dream and, you know, represent us well as Belizeans. Now, Mel, I have a quick little question for you. What is it like working in the US compared to working in Belize?
It's hard work, William. I could tell you that. You work extremely hard, especially being from a different country, especially a country that people don't know much about. You have to make your mark, like you said, and you have to prove, because if I do my best and there's a Belizean trying to get a job over here, they'll be like, oh, well, if you work like William or if you work like Mel, oh, I know Belizeans, they have a reputation of being hard workers. They're very intelligent, they're hard workers. So when you come out here and you have to work, although it's hard, you know, get all the holidays, you can get on sick leave and all of that thing, but you to represent your country all the time. So you have to do your best because you want to set a good reputation for who is coming next.
Now, you prefer that a foreign or you miss home a lot?
I miss home a lot, especially my friends and my family. It's different. I think a lot of times about, you know, on a Friday after work, okay, let me call up the girls there, make us see who to do what. But sometimes I find myself just coming home and saying, wow, I don't have that much friends like that. You know people, but they're not like the people that ever really know you.
Yeah.
So it's different. It's a lot different. Spend a lot of time having conversations like this on the phone, doing video, seeing how everybody's doing. So it's different, but I try to get out there.
What would you say to somebody, because you mentioned being a Belizean? I've only had the opportunity to live abroad while I was actually doing my master's degree, and that was limited. And I agree with you that we carry Belize on our sleeves, and we're ambassadors for the country, and we try to represent well. What do you think is the funniest question you've been asked about Belize?
They ask so many questions, William. Let me see which one I could pull out. They never know where we are. They confuse us with Barbados. They say, oh, you're from where Rihanna is from. And I always have to say we're right above Canada.
Well, that might just be for you, you know, Mel. That might be for everybody.
So when I show pictures like my family and different friends at home, they're like, man, you can't tell who are Belizean because we look so different. We don't have a distinct look. So when I'm like, oh, this is my cousin, this is Belizean, they're like, but she looks Latina. Or, oh, this is my cousin, he's a Belizean too. They're like, but he looks like an African. Or like, we all look so different. So like, you can't tell when it comes to Belizean. Like they say, with a whole pot of rice and beans.
And that's right. The diversity is the thing that makes us interesting.
Exactly.
Now, Mel, we're going to keep the entertainment moving right along, and we have none other than the Youth Connection Band.
I out of my mind, look that's in my ways, that's an sachet. Mashing up my spine, making up my bed, not an sachet. You don't know me already, when it comes to party, I just when I'm go down and when I'm go down and when I'm go down, full stop. And everybody, when I talk about me, with my hand in the air, I rub in my head. Whoa, no, I doing it till I about nobody. I just turn up the vibes, not stop. And everybody, what us talk about me, with me hand in the air, I rum in me. Whoa, know I do with it, till I old and grey, 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 till I old and grey. On the avenue, out here on the road, I have nothing on session. I showing off my costume, leave me, let me bloom. I have nothing on session. You don't know me already, me and me posse. We just mash up the stage and mash up the stage and just refuse to get up. And who don't like it, tell them to bite me. This is my country, my carnival, that is why I showing up and doing it. Till I old and grey, 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 till I old and grey. You're ready to walk up a sway. Come down with me, mash up this face. If you come here to carry on, so party till the break of dawn. So throw your hands up in the air and wave them like you just don't care. Just like you're going out your mind. 'Cause this is just the time you'll be fine. Start to whine, 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 whine. One, two, three, jump and then wave. Wave and then wave. Run and then wave. Let we mash it up, jump and then wave. Wave and then wave. Run and then wave. Mash the party up. We in the mood, we rocking on. We dancing till it kinda hot. And they wouldn't ignore the grade. And don't we gonna destroy this face. So throw your hands up in the air and wave them like you just okay. Jump like you really, really can. Stop running like you're mad. Don't be sad. Get on bad, 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 bad. One, two, three, jump and then wave. Wave and then wave. Run and then wave. Let we mash it up. Jump and then wave. Wave and then wave. Run and then wave. Mash the party up. Jump and then wave. Wave and then wave. Run and then wave. Let we mash it up. Jump and then wave. Wave and then wave. Run and then wave. Mash the party up. We in the mood, we rocking up. We dancing till it kinda hot. And they wouldn't ignore the grade. Come on, baby, destroy this place. So throw your hands up in the air and wave them like you just don't care. Jump like you really, really can. Stop running like you're sad. Don't be mad. Get on bad, 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 bad. One, two, three, jump and then wave. Wave and then wave. Run and then wave. Mash it up, jump and then wave. Wave and then wave. Run and then wave. Mash it up, jump and then wave. Wave and then wave. Run and then wave. Mash it up, jump and then wave. Wave and then wave. Run and then wave. Mash it up, jump and then wave. Wave and then wave. Run and then wave. Mash it up, jump and then wave. Wave and then wave. Run and then wave. Mash the party up.
Man, that's one of my favorite songs right there.
I love it, William. I enjoyed that performance. You know, I feel like, you know, at the start, feel the spirit. I wonder if all the viewers, they feel the spirit like how I feel it right now, because I feel like I did it.
You know, especially based on my experience in the US, I know that Belizeans living in the US love live bands. They know I hear no music from box and everything, especially the older Belizeans. Man, if you have a band, they want to party whole night. So Youth Connection, thank you for that and for that particular song as well. Now, Mel, I want to ask you one thing, because in the US, you know, in Chicago, in LA, in New York, everything is about the Park Fest. Is that a favorite thing for you too?
Well, I was the host, Mel C, the MC. So I enjoyed it. Being up there, introducing the artists. There are so many artists that have performed along the years. You had Nego Heights, you had all the different bands. So many different people have performed. And so being able to introduce them, and then all the crowd just draw close and they got the flag. Everybody got their flag out there, you know.
That's
and
true.
you know, just to feel that energy, it's the best feeling. So I go out there, I see the different arts and craft. I purchase different Belizean t-shirts. They have food on sale. Just
And right there, so you got me. The food, you know. American panades is not as, you know, good as Belizean, but it's the next best thing, you know, because I think the texture is a little bit different, but still good nevertheless. And usually you pay more for it, like, you know, $1 or $2 to a panades, but they're usually
US.
bigger too.
The price difference and everything is so different. So actually, Saturday I'm gonna buy stew beans, white rice with fries. Now I paid $25 for that, okay?
And you have a lot of Belizean restaurants in your area, or where do you get Belizean food from?
Red's Belizean restaurant here in Chicago. It's right in Evanston.
You know, I've only been to Chicago once, and it was during February. It was for a wedding, and it was cold, so I didn't get to go around quite a bit, you know, but definitely I know that you do have Belizeans who may not have restaurants in all these different areas of the US, but a lot of Belizeans sell food from their homes, and that's usually good too. Anybody who doesn't have a restaurant, but you like their food in your area?
There are a couple people that I enjoy their food. My boyfriend, he makes the best panada. He doesn't sell, okay, but he makes the best panades. They're so huge, I don't mind paying.
That's you getting points, Mel. That's you getting points.
Oh, I make tamales too. I actually learned, like, over these couple months, you know, you're so hunted. You want to find something for do. I got learn for, I start do gardening in my house. I start to work out. I try be an artist. I try cooking. So I even learned to make tamales. And from the same Belizeans on YouTube, I follow them and I learned so much. So I just want to say thank you to them.
And you know, that's exactly where we're going next. We have Miss Barbara, a Belizean with over 100,000 YouTube subscribers for her Bear Pantry cooking program. And let's look at this, viewers. This is definitely an opportunity. If you don't know who she is, go look her up. And she will quickly show us how to create a series of Belizean must-haves, especially for our festive gatherings. Let's take a look.
Hey guys, Barbara here from the Bear Pantry Show. I hope that you guys are staying safe during these perilous times. I'm so excited to be here for this virtual celebration of the anniversary of Belize's independence. 39 years, guys. Now, no celebration is great without some fantastic food, right? So this is what I'm here to present. This is a sampling of the dishes that you would find in any Belizean backyard party, christening, wedding, or street festival. Take this for example. Rice and beans, stewed chicken, potato salad, and fried plantain. Now let's take a look at how to make this. Alright guys, so of course, if you know anything about the show, you know that Joe helps out behind the scenes with a lot of stuff and sometimes on camera. This is my darling husband of 34 years. Say hi to Joe.
Hey guys, how you guys doing?
Alright, so Joe, we put the beans in the crock pot last night, right? And we did 2 cups of the red kidney beans. He put some onion, cilantro, some minced up garlic, let it cook overnight. And here we are. He's going to use some of the beans now to do the rice and beans. I say some because we're going to use some to do garnaches. So Joe, go ahead and measure out the beans, babe. So Joe is measuring out the beans with the broth, and he wants a good bean to rice ratio. So he's just eyeballing. And he's washed the long grain white rice and adding it to the pot now, along with some salt and some black pepper. and of course coconut milk, because that's the secret ingredient. So I'm showing you the simmering or the rice soaker, and Joe checked his water level, and now he's just going to set the pot here on low heat and allow the rice to boil. So Joe's going to cut up this whole chicken, guys, and then we're going to wash it with distilled white vinegar and water, and then he's going to do a blend of black pepper, salt, ricotta. If you don't have this, use paprika. This is some powder ricotta or annatto. Garlic powder, not onion powder, because he's going to use real onions. He's going to put a little bit of cayenne for heat, and of course some thyme. So let's go, Joe. Cut up the chicken, babe. After cutting up the chicken into what seems like a million pieces, he's washing it with distilled white vinegar and water, and then adding the spices in no particular order, okay? So just go ahead and add some annatto, which is the ricotta. You can use paprika if you don't have any of this. I'm adding some oil to the pan. I'm doing olive oil, but you can use vegetable oil. And now Joe's just going to brown the pieces on each side. And then he's going to remove the pieces and then add the onion and the cilantro to let it saute. And then add the pieces back in. He says this infuses the flavors better. And then add some water to let it cook. Then he's checking on the rice and beans in the meanwhile. And the rice and beans coming along pretty good. And then now the chicken is done, and he has this beautiful chicken with thick gravy. And then look, the rice and beans is also done. You just stir the rice every 20 minutes or so, okay? It'll be fine. To make the potato salad, all you have to do is boil the potatoes and the eggs, and then peel and dice the potato, put some diced onions, and then mash the eggs. This is a trick from my mom. Next, all you gotta do is go ahead and mix some Heinz with a little bit of milk. Now, over here in America, some Belizeans don't like the Heinz anymore, but I absolutely love the Heinz. And then just toss it in a salad with the peas and carrots, and then the salad's ready. To make the tamales, I'm gonna steal some of Joe's stew chicken, and rice and beans. And look, it's very simple to do the cull. Some diced up onions, some cilantro washed and picked from the stems, and some of this hot tomato sauce. We're still gonna need ricotta or paprika, but this is gonna add some color to it right off the bat and some heat, all right? So let me get this on the stove. We're gonna bring this to a boil, at which point we're gonna strain this into it. This is the masa that I've just diluted with some water. The last things to go in are gonna be these. So I'm putting the masa paste through the strainer because we don't want any lumps, and if it gets lumpy, we're gonna have to put this through a strainer again, okay? So we have to move fast. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add some salt, some black pepper, a lot of black pepper, guys, and then some ricotta, which is annatto. You can use paprika here. Give this a stir, and then I'm gonna add the peas and carrots. I drained it, okay? I drained the tin, and then the tomatoes. And just work this in, set this aside because now we have to work on the outside part. We're not gonna do a ball where we squish it down, we're gonna cook it. So I'm putting the paste through a strainer again. And then to this, I've added some salt, some melted shortening, you can use lard, a little bit of water, and then just let this reduce down a little bit to make a thick paste, okay? This is gonna be spreadable. So now let's build the tamales. So I'm heating the leaf on the fire, and I found out you have to put the fire high, and then rub the white paste, and then put some cull with a couple pieces of chicken with the bone. Yes, we love it like that. And then here comes the sucky part for me, folding this leaf. This gives me a lot of trouble, but I try. So I fold it. Thank goodness for the aluminum foil on the bottom. And then just kind of roll the top and fold in the edges. And I get better, don't worry. But sometimes I just use straight up foil and just leave the leaf alone. And you do it the same way. Spread it with the cull, put the chicken, roll it, fold in the sides, and then you go ahead and you boil the tamales for at least an hour. Some people steam it, I boil it. And then when it's done, you let it set, okay? It needs to set, and then you open it up, and voila, you have beautiful tamales. I'm testing the masa to see how wet it is, because if it's too wet, I'm gonna have to add some flour. So I've added some baking powder, some ricotta, salt, and just get it worked in, adding a little bit of flour at a time to make sure it's not too wet. You can use corn flour too, but I use all-purpose flour. It'll work. And then roll them off into balls of varied size to use for panades or salbutes. All right, so now let's make the fish. For the panades, I use tuna, and I just kind of drain it, put it in a pan with some onion, cilantro, jalapeno. I use jalapeno a lot because habanero is too hot for me. And just hash the fish till it's dry. And then I'm gonna put the masa between two pieces of paper and squish. Put the fish in between, fold it, and then fry off the panades on low heat, all right? Use low heat because you want it to cook on the inside too. Then take a look at the panades with some nice onion sauce, and this is how I made the onion sauce. I chopped up some cabbage, diced up some onions, put distilled white vinegar and water and some salt and black pepper. And here we have it. The salbutes are very easy to make, guys. So I'm using some of the stewed chicken that Joe made. I did some of the breast and the fattier parts with the gravy. I'm making the salsa right now that goes on top. It's cabbage, tomatoes, cilantro washed and picked from the stems. And this is the secret ingredient that makes it so delicious, all right? Because people are gonna be expecting vinegar and water like for the panades. But for this one, we do fat-free Italian dressing, fat-free because it has more sugar in it, all right? So what we do is just go ahead and get our balls like this. We did this for the panades. I showed you how to season it. And we're gonna go ahead and squish between the paper. And then we're gonna fry it off. And then put some meat on top. Put the cabbage salsa, and of course, cheese. So you can use Dutch cheese or Parmesan. And here you have it, your salbutes. For the garnaches, you start off with stewed beans. Season it up real well and then refry the beans in some butter. So now we're gonna make a sauce. I know a lot of Belizeans are eating ketchup for the sauce, but I wasn't raised on ketchup for this dish. I was raised on tomato sauce. So I'm using the hot tomato sauce, the regular tomato sauce, diced up onions, and just allow this to reduce. Add a little bit of water, allow it to reduce. Then put some salt and some black pepper to taste. Meanwhile, the beans are refrying. You can fry it in lard, but I like butter. And just squish it with the back of the spoon or a potato masher until it looks like this. Now let's build the garnaches. Fry the corn tortilla till it's crispy. Spread the beans lavishly on top. Put some of the sauce and sprinkle with either Dutch cheese or Parmesan cheese. Very simple, right? This is one of the most common cakes you can find in Belize. It's called milk cake. And it's called milk cake because we boil sweetened condensed milk in a tin on the stovetop pressure cooker or slow cooker until it becomes caramelized, and we use that for the frosting. So Belizean milk cake is kind of like a pound cake. You cream the butter and the sugar first to make it fluffy, and you add the eggs in one at a time, and then the extract, and it's not vanilla, it's pineapple. Mommy's secret, okay? And mix the dry ingredients together, and then you add the dry ingredients along with the milk alternately to the batter, meaning one in, one out. And then you make a batter like this. You grease and flour your tins, either 6-inch tin or 8-inch tins. And then you bake it off until the toothpick comes out clean. All right, and then you allow it to cool. I cut the cakes in two and I put the milk in between and then realized I would need more milk because normally I put jam or lemon curd, but this time I'm putting milk throughout the entire cake. And then just put some sprinkles on top. And some people like to put some cherries. And then you have this gorgeous cake. Now, jam roll. That was my mom's favorite dessert. It's very easy to make. The pie dough is very easy to make. You use all-purpose flour, some shortening, some butter, sugar, and ice water. I don't put any salt because the butter is salty. So you make it form a dough, and then you fraisier the dough like this, and put it in parchment, put it in the fridge for at least 15 minutes. Now, to make the jam roll, I personally just kind of roll it out flat, put it on a tray, put the jam on top, put the topping, poke it, bake it. Now, traditionally it's made like this. You roll it out like this, put the jam in the middle, flip it here, flop it over here, put a fork on the ends, prick it, bake it, voila. A beautiful, simple dessert. Don't forget the 3 W's of staying safe. Wear your mask, watch your distance, and wash your hands.
What delicious looking food. My favorites, man. Miss Barra is one of the people that you definitely want to keep Sheena your Rolodex, and you want to go over and ask for help so they could feed you for free. What was your favorite? For me, garnaches. I love garnaches.
Love garnaches. I love the tamales. I love the salbutes. And actually, probably a couple weeks ago, I was watching her YouTube video on making tamales. So I want to say thank you, Barbara. Thank you so much. My tamales is a hit. I tried it with some of my friends over here. I even paired some at my work. And the people, they love it. They said, wow, this is really great. It's really good. So, man, I wish I made that effort. Get a slice out of milk cake.
Yeah, the milk cake. Nothing like one good milk cake. I don't know. I toss up between that and the jam rolls to me.
Yeah, that's my weakness, man. I love jam roll so much. I even tried that during this pandemic. William, I try and make so much thing cross bun things I never. Okay, I'm gonna tell you something. I don't never somebody when known for cook who know me know that egg and cheese they on the menu mostly. If you say guess what's for dinner, I had to make egg and cheese for tea. So this time, you know, being at home a lot, it really bring out the creativity in you, and I become a better chef than making egg and cheese. So really good dishes, and you know, getting into the whole culture. I make a nice block dinner too, I must say.
Wow. The only two things I learned over the COVID quarantine lockdown was how to make fried jack, because I wanted to learn how to do that. And you know, I put it in a KitchenAid. I don't need an all-in thing there. I put it in a KitchenAid.
Oh man.
And also powder bun. Then they are the only two things I make.
Your fried jack puff.
Yeah. No more?
Okay.
I learned from Sean Quillen. So, but it was definitely a good opportunity to hone your cooking skills. So Mel, when I go to Chicago, I hope that you can cook some tamales for me.
I got you covered, and when you come visit me at Chicago, I want to see if they fried jack pop up.
Well, only if you have a KitchenAid, I can make the fried jack. I can't need. So, but I promise you, once you come to Belize, I invite you to my kitchen where I use my KitchenAid to make fried jack and to make powder bun. I got you covered.
Okay. It's a deal. I'll bring the cheese.
All right. Well, let's go back to more musical selections. This time we have our final performance from the Youth Connection Band.
River Massey, water Massey, I have a question. If you shipping at the ocean, show me some ocean. You shipping at the ocean. Sing for me.
When the river come rushing by. If you want to be with the river, raise your hand and feel it touch the sky.
Clear the way, the water coming down. And when you see how it rushes, like it come from the mountain. And when you see how it moving, you see the race, it coming down the place. And I don't know what to do about this water thing for true. So if you can't take it, tell me you can't take it. You better move out the way. Move to the left, move out the way, boy. Move to the right now, move out the way. Move to the left,
Move out the way, boy.
move to the right now. Jump the water coming, jump the water coming, jump the water, jump the water, jump.
Paddle in, paddle out.
Push your paddle all about,
Paddle in, paddle out.
push it in and take it out. Handle your paddle,
Push it.
push it toward boat.
Push it.
If you have a stick,
Push it.
that will do the trick. Deep from the mountain water running, coming down. Deep from the mountain water running, coming down. Paddle out, push your paddle all about. Paddle in, paddle out, push it in and take it out. Push it in, take it out. Push it in, take it out. Push it in and take it out. No gonna way above the water.
Water coming down.
It rising higher and higher.
Water coming down.
And when the water come down,
Water coming
it's
down.
water alone for sure.
Keep coming.
Everything clogging up, the man hold back up. You really can't do nothing about this water, just keep running. So if you can't take it, tell me you can't take it. You better move out the way. Move to the left,
Move out the way, boy.
move to the right now.
Move out the way.
Move to the left,
Move out the way, boy.
move to the right now. Jump the water coming, jump the water coming, jump the water, jump.
Paddle in, paddle out.
Push your paddle all about.
Paddle in, paddle out.
Push it in and take it out. Handle your paddle, push it to a boat. If you have a stick, that will do the trick. Deep from the mountain water running, coming down.
push it in, take it off, push it in, take it off, push it in, take it off.
Paddle in, paddle out. I need a stool like this in my house. Mel, I hope that you do your thing, you know?
Oh, I tell you, I enjoy this. And how they sing, make we mash it up, make we mash it up. Why?
good
music,
times.
Real
And
good music today.
you know,
Real
the
nice
unfortunate
performance.
thing, when you live alone, it's hard to get a party on, right? So you have to invite people over and to have some fun. And I know even with COVID, etc., it doesn't have to be in person. It can all be via Zoom, you know, or some other platform where you can have some fun. But we want to definitely thank Youth Connection for their performance and, of course, for their Independence Day greeting as well. Mel, you know, Belizeans who are living both at home and abroad, there's always this natural connection because people want to know exactly what's happening here and people want to know what's happening over there. Some call it gossip, some call it catch up, all right? Like just a goodly catch up, you know, things where they happen. What you call it?
Well, what I call it, you the converse. You want to know, I always want to know what's going on. I always, anytime, trust me, I go and anytime I call my granny, she always asks me what is going on over there. And then she always got it. You know, the old people, they always know what's going on. They might not know that kind of scene, but they know everything. So I also want to say, you know, shout out to my granny, Sheila Coleman too. But yes, really enjoy, you know, connecting and knowing what's going on home and everything.
All right, and since you gave a shout out, you know, some people call it a big up, and that's what we want to encourage people to do in the comment section. If you have anybody that you want to let them know that you're watching, that you're participating, and you want to big them up, you know, I have a lot of friends and family in the US, so I'm not even going to go that route, but all my people in New York and Chicago and LA and everywhere, I hope you're enjoying this. Mel, you big up your granny. Anybody on this Belize side that you want other than your gran?
I just want to say, you know, big up to all of my friends, all my friends back home, all my fans. You know, people tell me they really enjoyed when I used to work on, you know, the radio in Belize. I want to shout out my mom, Miriam Coleman, my whole family, everybody. I hope you guys really enjoying this show because so far, being a part of it and working along with you, it's not get better than that.
That's right. But I'll tell you something. Are you familiar with marimba music?
A little bit. It's entertaining. I like it. It's different and it shows how diverse Belize could be.
Definitely. And in the West, coming out of the Benke House of Culture, there's a group that has been working hard, you know, young people who are carrying on the tradition of marimba music. They call themselves Los Hijos del West. That's a nice, you can't even call, you have to call that, you know, like how you have Spanglish or whatever. Well, that's our good way to put it. And this is them doing a performance. Los Hijos del West. Take it away.
you have it, a performance from Los Hijos del West. I really enjoyed that one. Very lively and unique. How do you think about that, William?
I loved it, and the fact that they are playing the traditional patriotic songs. You can't go through the September celebrations without those songs. And having that kind of a cultural diversity, a different take on those songs is just phenomenal. So, Los Hijos del West, gracias. Now, Mel, you know, that's one of the things that is very unique about Belize. When we're able to, talk about what makes Belize so unique is the fact that depending on which direction you drive, you might end up speaking Spanish or Garifuna or Creole or something in between. Mm-hmm. And, you know,
that's right.
The music is representative of that as well. You know, you might end up in Cayo and be partying to one type of music, or in Orange Walk or down south. But still, Creole tends to unite all of us because everybody, regardless of our accent, we have that Creole in a way.
Mm-hmm. And I can't get rid of that accent. It no matter how much I speak, I try to speak, you still hear it. So, and they have people when they hear me talking, proper English, they'd be like, where are you from? You sound so unique, you sound different. And I'm like, I'm from Belize. I say it proudly. They're like, I love your accent. That probably one of the things when I just come, because when you just come, your accent is very strong. I still think mine is kind of strong, but people love the accent. So for guys or females, that's especially single guys, that's an upsell, because the Americans love an accent. You guys know what I'm talking about.
So don't pick up the Jamaican or anything else. Never leave your Belizean Creole accent. But in this part of our program now, Mel, we want to highlight with unconditional appreciation Belizean frontline workers in the U.S. We know that we actually have a number of Belizeans who have paid the ultimate price during this pandemic to protect Americans from this raging disease. Confronting crowded hospital halls with persons struggling to breathe, or enforcing regulations or conducting rescue operations are all tall tasks, and they are made even more daunting when one has to do so with the threat of becoming ill, heavy on their own minds. There are hundreds of Belizean frontline workers scattered all over the U.S., and this presentation will provide a snapshot of some of those people. Let's enjoy.
At last, the time has come. Belizeans unite for independence. Let it know the our land, one for all, and
thank you very much, all the Belizeans who are frontline workers, wherever you are in the U.S. and across the world. Respect and thanks. Mel, have you had to interact with any of the Belizeans who are frontline workers?
Yes, I have a few friends that work, they're nurses, they're doctors, and hearing them share their experience and knowing how hard they work, it's incredible the sacrifices they make to ensure that people are safe during this time. It's a medical war zone out there. Some people you can't even see a family, because if you have a family, you have to quarantine away from them if you're working at the hospital. So they make really incredible sacrifices, and it takes a lot to be a frontline worker in the medical field.
Yeah, you know, we can't even begin to imagine what it's like in the U.S. when you see the numbers and the sheer magnitude of the impact in terms of death within the U.S. Here in Belize, of course, we have our own challenges, but we have not been affected as greatly. However, we've had the loss of lives, and everyone who has passed away, you know, means something to someone, and families, as a result, will never be the same after COVID-19 because of the loss that they've had to endure.
Yes, William, I know that is true. I pray for my family and my friends every day. My mom, she works at the hospital at KHMH. So I check in with her every day, making sure, you know, how is everyone doing? How are your other coworkers doing? You know, it's something you should not take for granted, because, you know, you never know when you'll see someone again. The last time I was in Belize was for Christmas. So I can't wait to come back.
All right, and we can't wait to have you back as well, Mel. But we're nearing the end of today's virtual celebration, and we have a grand finish yet to come. But let's work on getting warmed up with DJ Rere. I hope I said that correctly, who is one of the best Brockdown DJs. And then we'll go straight to DJ Lady X. And of course, if you know anything about music, Lady X is Stone Jam's daughter, and she's another great DJ with Belizean party hits. So take it away, DJs.
Every 15th and ending, that's the time to come around. Every 15th and ending, that's the time to come around. Just to get the money that I have. Every 15th and ending, that's the time to come around. Every 15th and ending, that's the time to come around. Just to get the money that I have. And every time I give you the money, you go to Miss Mary, you go to Miss Mary. Oh, play 50 bucks.
them and they can't see how much. Not to your comfort, Taliban. 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 Not say, not say, not say. jump, you better Yabra goes to come. Jump, jump, jump the fence. Yabra goes to come. Jump, jump, I did tell you. Yabra goes to come. You better jump, jump, jump the fence. Yabra goes to come. Girl, you the hear it, now you the see it. Yabra goes to ya. Now you the hear it, why you the see it. Yabra goes to ya. You better jump, jump, jump the fence. Yabra goes to come. Jump, jump, you better Yabra goes to come. Jump, jump, jump the fence. Yabra goes to come. Jump, jump, I did tell you. Yabra goes to come. Why you destroying our history? Why are you ashamed of our slavery? Peace is still what I'm looking for. I come right now to state my case. Yabra goes to come. Yabra goes to come. Jump, jump, I did tell you. Yabra goes to come. You better jump, jump, jump the fence. Yabra goes to come. Yeah, it's now you see. Yabra goes to ya. Now you it's why you see. Yabra goes to ya.
Lady X.
Thank you to our DJs. And Melissa, I know that you worked on the radio. Have you ever thought about becoming a DJ yourself?
I've thought about it. I'm more, I would say, more of a selector. But, you know, we're all still inside. So who knows? I don't learn to bake. I learn to make tamales. Who knows? Maybe the DJ thing next. You inspire me. They inspire me, especially Lady X.
All right. So what will be your DJ name?
Probably my name, Mel C, Star Quality.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Now, you know, what's your favorite genre of music?
I really enjoy, well, since being away from home, I enjoy a lot of broke down music more. Broke down, I enjoy punta and soca. So anything that is high energy, I love.
And
you know,
whenever you go...
But definitely right now, all the patriotic songs, everything like that, I enjoy. How about you?
The same, you know. I am very eclectic when it comes to music, but September creates that feeling in my heart where, you know, I can't see myself without the Belizean music. And while I like soca and everything else, you know, there's a toss-up. I want a nice balance between what is uniquely Belizean, and then we can mix it with anything else. I really don't care as long as it's bringing people together in a peaceful and a positive way to just party and have fun.
That's good, because I enjoy, like I said, anything high energy, anything that I'm hearing a live band, like some of the performances we saw today, that's kind of, it makes me feel like I'm there. So anything to do with live performances and that Belizean heritage is what I draw mostly to.
Well, we're not done yet. The DJs, remember I said, were just a warm-up. Because now we're going to one of the biggest bands in the land. They hail from the north, Corozal, as a matter of fact. They're called Gilhari 7. I even say that they have a joke. Why can't you have Gilhari 11? because of the COVID rules, you can only have under 10. So we're bringing to you Gil Harris 7 as the grand finale. And of course, we want to welcome them. They have an excellent horn section. And Gil Harris 7, man, definitely. Bernadette, hey, take it away.
Belizean passe, diverse origins, celebration time. This Gil Harris. Yes. The biggest festival comes the month of September, Independence Day. People from all over celebrate this freedom so blissfully. It's the 10th of September, and this is the reason why we celebrate. Independence celebration, and this is the reason why we celebrate. People coming by car, people coming by bus, people coming by plane, even if it rains. People jumping up, people getting down, people having fun, people going by. We go jumping, we go waving, we go dancing, we go jamming. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Everyone come to celebrate. This the party time. Everyone celebrating. Everyone celebrating. This the party time. We go jamming. We go waving. We go dancing. We go jamming. Gil Harris. Yes, the party time. Happy Independence Day. September festival give party fever to Halloween. Like we need blood in we veins, that's how we feel it every year. It's the 10th of September, and this is the reason why we celebrate. Independence celebration, and this is the reason why we come on celebrate. People coming by car, people coming by bus, people coming by plane, even if it rains. People jumping up, people getting high, people having fun, people going by. We go jumping, we go waving, we go jumping, we go jamming. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Everyone come to celebrate. This the party time. Yeah. Everyone celebrating. Everyone celebrating. This the party time. We go jamming. We go jumping. We go jamming. We go waving. Yes. Uno have on a rug. Uno have a flag. Let me see your hands in the air. Raise your rug. Raise your flag. Raise your rug. Raise your flag. Raise your rug. Raise your flag. Come down, Gil Harris. Yes. Belizean Council.
And of course, we want to thank Gil Harris 7. No party in the US will ever finish without the march. You have to get your flag, you have to wave it, you have to march, you have to back her up when they march. Mel, you got the march down like that?
Oh yes, I got enough space for march from him, yeah. I have, see how I represent. Don't you see my set? I got my flag, I have everything. I have my sleeve with Belize on it. So I always represent everywhere I go. Still repping the 501. That's how I say it. But that was an excellent performance.
And Gil Harry is really an excellent band. And it's amazing that a family can actually over time continue. You have a couple other bands in Belize who are family based. As a matter of fact, I think for quite some time bands seem to be on the downward spiral in Belize, but we seem to have more bands coming up all over the place, and that's a very, very good sign, because that means that we'll have more creators of original music, because it's just not the same when you don't have the instruments and the live horn section. Man, for a lot of music, you want to hear up, pop, 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 pop,
I know what you mean. I love it. I love everything about it. And you ever see when Mr. Peters used to have it with the jawbone, man?
Yes.
Then I'm in the days, young and married.
You don't know we're part of the move or whatever. And the best thing is to go to a party where you have some foreigners and you suddenly see them, like they're possessed by the music and different parts to move and everything. So tell your foreign friends, come over, enjoy themselves. Remember, be safe. I know that I have to change my way of thinking a little bit. Introduce them to the Belizean music. I hope you enjoyed it, and you invited them to tune in, and for them to see the Belizean cuisine, among other things, to learn what marimba music is. This has been a journey. For anyone who's living in Belize, outside of Belize, this has been a beautiful afternoon of celebrating everything that is Belize.
It makes me so proud to be a part of this and to share my experiences. Like you said, it makes me feel so proud to be a Belizean, and coming from home, being able to celebrate with all of you virtually. And I'm glad that I can share a bit of my culture with my friends over here in the States. So I'm sure on Monday when I go back there, I have so much questions, and they'll probably ask me for so much thing. I forgot line for next, but let me have to send me the recipe.
Well, I also want to thank you for being my co-host. It has been a lot of fun. Mel C on the MIC.
Oh yeah, I had a great time, William, watching all these performances and seeing all these great food and all the good things all our Belizean community is doing and making us proud all over the country, all the frontline workers. We thank you. We thank you so much for all that you've been doing.
All right. And, I want to say, especially to our Belizeans who are in the diaspora, thank you for continuing to, be connected to Belizeans here at home. Thank you again, Mel C.
Thank you so much, William. This has been a fantastic Brahms celebration virtually.
All right. Bye-bye.
See ya. Bye.
And before we go, we'd just like to thank our performers and DJs. We'd also like to thank the Ministry of Foreign Affairs team who pulled this off. Special mention to the Embassy in Washington, D.C. On behalf of the team and everyone who had a hand or a finger or a foot in this virtual Independence Day virtual celebration, thank you. Have a happy and safe Independence Day. Goodbye. I'm William Neal. It has been a pleasure to represent Belizeans at home and connect with those abroad. Enjoy the rest of your September.
African celebration night all over India. Have a good time. Wish I was there to celebrate with you guys.
And have a wonderful time. Remember, wear your mask.
This is Linden Park. We're hanging out right now, having a good time.
September, Belize, people.
We all unite for independence.